All right. Well, I hope it's a sunny morning in California. Maybe I can hand it over to you, and please do take it away.
Will do. Can you see my screen?
That's great. Well, we can see your slides. That's good.
Awesome.
All right.
Thanks for having me on, Mike. Not as technically gifted as the previous two presenters, or three presenters, I should say. I'm here to talk about NuTraditions and our experience with Spree. We really went through a major pivot from ever since we launched to where we're at today. We've been nonstop changing. It's been a nonstop whirlwind of changes. Just give you a little bit of an idea of who NuTraditions is. We're a nutraceutical functional food brand that focuses on restoring balance to modern life through the principles of traditional Chinese medicine by making fast and convenient remedies that address the symptoms and root causes. We originally launched to go into the retail channel, think about health food stores and Whole Foods and whatnot. We launched with two products. Good Morning Sunshine, which is really the coffee is a carrier or delivery mechanism for the organic red ginseng extract. And we're going to launch Sweet Dreams soon after that. This site was launched 3 to 4 days before our major conference, which is Natural Product Expo, which has over 100,000 people attending it. It was canceled the day before the actual event due to COVID, and we all were scrambling on what do we do now. Retail doesn't seem like a viable option. So I had that, and just to let you know, before we go on that, our team was basically a bunch of passionate people, herbal people that have expertise in operations, formulation, manufacturing, and whatnot. And the real reason we chose Spree was because we use it on our B2B side of the business that's integrated with our ERP system. So we're thinking once we got to scale with the retailers, we could integrate it and easily serve them and track everything. But then we had this moment when the event got canceled, and I had to call Mike in a frenzy and say, Mike, what are we gonna do? We got to go DTC, and what's gonna take to get there. And Mike goes, let me think about it and talk to Damien and get back to you. But next day he got back to me and we came up with a plan on how to do it. We don't have any technical people on the staff per se, not overly technical. So our business challenge was really how to pivot our go-to-market strategy and launch strategy on the fly without a technical team. Basically we started off as our site was really more informational to support the activities at the retail level and really content focused and really just sort of supporting the retailers. So really had to go figure out what to do now that we had this conference canceled. But we were lucky because we decided to go with Spree, although it was more than what we needed for the initial launch, because we had a long-term viewpoint of we want to integrate it with our ERP system and whatnot. So that was really helpful. So having said that, it's basically allowed us to pivot quickly from our informational site with basic shopping abilities to one that support our pivot from the retail channel to DTC. And Mike and the team over at Spree, or Spark Solutions, was really instrumental in doing that pivot because, again, like we stated earlier, we didn't have an overly technical team. So now our site, once we were able to do that, we're able to add more shopping focus, better call to action, and a lot of things that were just made it more D2C friendly. Within a few months, Spark was able to implement this marketing and sales plan using Spree to transform our site from being a site that was designed to be informational with shopping as secondary to one that utilizes core Spree functionalities to make it a mobile-friendly D2C site. And I think and this is sort of the ability to shop and sort of just give you a quick look at the site. You could peruse it at your own leisure. But, and this is basically the tech stack. We could talk about a little bit more in detail, all the other things we integrated via segment. But as Hutan alluded to earlier, D2C is really hard, is a really hard to channel. Digital channels are really hard, especially post-pandemic, or once the pandemic hit, because everyone pivoted to digital during the pandemic. So it's just been a really hard channel. But we're really happy with our selection of Spree because it has given us the flexibility to explore an omni-channel approach, but in the sense of how do we use the brick and mortar strategy to support our digital efforts? Because right now our push really is on our Hello Dreams sleep strips, which look like this, and they're basically really easy to use, and you put it on your tongue, and 5 to 10 minutes before you sleep, swallow, and you'll have a blissful night of sleep. I think the key for us really is because of the size of the strips, we can really have a benefit and an advantage through self-fulfillment, because we can mail a 10-day pack or a 30-day pack all using USPS mail, and that would cost us less than $1 to mail. So that's why we were like, this is why we really want to focus on using Spree and customization to really encourage trial, discovery, in an omni-channel approach, and maybe some creative ways to get people to try at and discover it at brick and mortar locations and then come to our site to fulfill, versus actually buying at the brick and mortar locations, as a traditional omni-channel may would wish. So I think, having said that, it just really, what we're finding out with Spree is that it gives us the flexibility, and without having to wait for long periods of times for something like Shopify or WooCommerce or whatever it is, to really try some of these random untraveled or rarely traveled roads, to whether it's, sampling at the store and, buying online, or however that may go, or through other channels. So, it's been a fun journey with, especially as we move into this, as the US opens back up and allows us to have more opportunities to sample and try new things. And thanks for everyone's time. Maybe you have any questions, we'd be more than happy to answer it. And hopefully you find that a little useful.
Thanks, Wilson. And I have to tell you all that we've been working with Wilson for the past 5 years, and just implementing all of the Spree versions that were released in the meantime. And this latest website is running the very latest Spree version. So thanks, Wilson, for adopting the Spree technology so quickly and being an early adopter, and also leveraging it for your business. That's really great to see. Any questions for Wilson, guys? It was a bit different perspective from a business owner's point of view, but we have all kinds of Spree users. We have technical CTOs, we have business owners and CEOs choosing Spree for their platform, e-commerce platform. Any questions?
Yeah, I think, while we see if anyone has questions, I think one of the real advantages of using the latest version of Spree is what we're noticing on our SEO side of things is that we're really ranking quite quickly, even in competitive categories, because of how fast and responsive it is, and all the technical details that of SEO that it really allows you to do.
So we have a question from Aaron, and he's asking about have you integrated any partner experiences such as coffee makers, filters, taste makers, and basically I think it's a question about partnerships.
Yeah, so that's a great question. So just to give you a great idea, we have obviously a presence on Instagram, and we're integrated the feed into our system in the bottom. And the next step is really we want to launch an affiliate marketing program soon, and working with Spark over with Mike and Spark and how to do that in Spree in the best way. And I think we're going to use affiliate marketing slightly different than the traditional way. We want to use the traditional way, but also we'll see how we can maybe take that and apply it in different manners. And then one of the things that we start off with is that through word of mouth referral programming, we have also integrated friend buy. So because the idea is, if this works for you, you should share it with your friend, and that can't get sleep as well. So that's another way we're using these sort of tastemakers or people that proof of concept points to sort of get the product in the right people's hands.
Yeah, and another question I think is a one I should take. So does Spree support those thumbnails, those preview thumbnails that show up when socially sharing links? So it does, and it should, and I'm gonna look into it after the conference. So that's a really great question, and thanks for troubleshooting. We'll take a look. It definitely show up. Those thumbnails are important.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Can you elaborate on any specific examples related to SEO that would help make the experience on Spree especially great?
So I'm going to throw Spree under the bus while at the same time lifting Spree up. So, like I said, the reason we chose Spree is because we have a B2B business, and we really are focused on supplying herbs and herbal ingredients to our customers. And we're on some old version of Spree, just like Hutan and FrameBridge. Once you build it, it's the business case for switching is upgrading. It may not be as great. So for that, we can see the actual difference between on the technical side of things on the old version of Spree versus the newest version. And the errors that pop up, the slow loading pages that aren't, just because it wasn't 5 years ago, it might not have been mobile optimized, right? And now it is. And it's not a real knock against that. It's just the emphasis of what would rank back then is different than now. So I think that's a real case where you can see, we can see actually what a non-mobile optimized page or framework does versus an optimized one. And I think that's how I see it, the specific example of it.
Thanks, Wilson. Thanks for taking the time out of your busy schedule. I know every single speaker during this conference is very busy running their business or just coding. Thanks so much for being with us, and talk soon.
Yeah, we'll do. And everyone visit the site, and we're having special discount for the rest of the month. So check it out.
Excellent.
Thanks.
Thank you.